The Raiders this season has been rough. After consecutive 9 losses, they are sitting at the bottom of the standings. Obviously, this is where no team wants to be. But here's the thing. Sometimes a tough season is what it takes to build something great. Haven't you read the famous G. Michael Hoff's quote? Hard times create strong men create good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. So, despite the losses, there are bright spots that give fans hope. Some young players are stepping up, and with the possibility of landing the first pick in the 2024 draft, the Raiders have a real chance to reset and rebuild. So, what's happening on and off the field? And I am saying the future might be brighter than it seems. Honestly, I am not giving you a fake hope. Many of you who have watched the previous game against Tampa Bay would definitely agree with me. What's up, buddies? Welcome back. If you are new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We cover all AFC West news here on this channel. Alright, so it's almost the end of the regular season with only 4 games left. Sitting at 2-11, this is really disappointment. Last season, they finished 8-9. But what went wrong? How did the team end up here? Of course, there are multiple elements taking part in current situation, like injuries, quarterback struggles, coaches changes, and gaps in key areas like the offensive line and defense. You know the compounding effect? Yeah, here it is working against the Raiders. Anyhow, the good thing is they have a chance to rebuild themselves. Look, it is obvious they are far from the playoff scene, so putting lots of effort for that is absolutely unnecessary. They are currently holding the first overall pick for the upcoming draft. Thinking about this season is quite ridiculous. This is a lifetime opportunity to build a team for the next decade. Yeah, they got the opportunity to pick that quarterback who would lead the team eventually to the Super Bowl in next 2-3 years. And, you know, in the last season's draft, they were also entered, hoping that they can get a solid quarterback. But with the 13th overall pick, it's nearly impossible, and the 2024 draft was different because 6 of the first 12 selections were for the quarterbacks. So they couldn't secure one of these high-end rookies like Jaden Daniels or Michael Penix Jr., but they managed to pivot and grab the next thing. Who is he? You know him very well. I will mention him later, but first let me show you the hidden gem from the last match against the Buccaneers. Yes, I am talking about running back Sincere McCormick. This guy was nothing short of impressive. It's hard not to be excited about what he brings to the table. Let me break it down further. McCormick carried the ball 15 times for 78 yards in that game, averaging an impressive 5.2 yards per carry. But it wasn't just about the numbers, it was the way he played. His 29-yard run on 3rd and 1 was the perfect example of his vision and adaptability. He faked one way, read the defense perfectly, and then exploded through a different gap, breaking multiple tackles along the way. That's the kind of effort and intelligence you can't teach. And he didn't even stop there. In short yardage situations, McCormick was clutch. On a critical 4th and 1, he powered through defenders to keep the drive alive. And it's not just brute strength, his ability to read defenses and adjust mid-play is what makes him stand out. Whether it's taking advantage of power running schemes or bending runs away from their design to exploit defensive weaknesses, McCormick has shown he's not just a one-dimensional player. At one moment, he dragged Lavonte David. Yeah, that was pure grit. Breaking tackles and gaining extra yards after contact has become a hallmark of his game. It's no wonder he's quickly becoming a favorite among fans. So, he is the right guy that can lead the team further. He is the guy a quarterback can trust. And it's not just McCormick, there are more gems you probably noticed. Recall the 2024 draft. I mentioned earlier that the Raiders failed to secure a quarterback, but they got the opportunity to pick a tight end. Yes, I am talking about Brock Bowers, the Raiders' first-round pick. This tight end is no ordinary rookie, he's a generational talent. If you've been paying attention this season, you already know this guy is special. But what he did last game further proved why he's a cornerstone for the Raiders' future. Against the Buccaneers, Bowers hauled in 3 receptions for 49 yards, averaging a solid 16.3 yards per catch. And get this, he also broke an NFL record during that game. With a clutch 12-yard reception in the 4th quarter, Bowers officially became the rookie tight end with the most receptions in a single season. He surpassed Sam Laporta's previous record of 86, and honestly, it feels like this guy is just getting started. Beyond his stats, Bowers brings a mentality that's contagious. He's a leader on the field, inspiring teammates with his work ethic and relentless drive. And how could you forget Jackson Powers-Johnson, the Raiders' second-round pick who has taken on the crucial role of center? Midway through the season, he transitioned to this position and immediately brought a level of aggression and physicality that the offensive line desperately needed. Sure, there have been some growing pains, penalties, and missed assignments, but the potential is undeniable. Powers Johnson has all the makings of a long-term leader on the offensive line. And then there's DJ Glaze, a third-round pick who has surprised everyone by becoming an immediate contributor at right tackle. Going up against elite pass rushers like TJ Watt isn't easy, but Glaze has held his own. His ability to move fluidly and improve with each game makes him another critical piece in the Raiders' rebuild. Even some of the later round picks like Trey Taylor and Decamarion Richardson have shown flashes of potential. While they haven't made as big of an impact yet, they add depth and represent the type of smart drafting the Raiders need moving forward. Together, these players aren't just filling roster spots, they're building blocks. They're proving that despite the struggles of 2024, the Raiders are quietly assembling a young core that can compete in the years to come. As much as the Raiders' young talent provides hope, the reality is clear. They're still in a rebuilding phase. And with the team currently in contention for the first overall pick in the 2024 draft, this offseason could be the most pivotal in years. The conversation starts with the quarterback position. With the potential to draft a generational talent, the Raiders are in prime position to secure a franchise-changing player like Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward. Both quarterbacks bring elite skill sets and could become the face of the franchise for years to come. But the first pick isn't just about a quarterback. Having that top selection gives the Raiders options. They could draft their next star signal caller or leverage the pick in a trade to acquire multiple assets and address other critical needs. This flexibility is invaluable for a team in transition. The performances of players like McCormick, Bowers, and Glaze also play into this decision. If the Raiders feel confident in their young core, they might consider trading down to stockpile picks and address gaps in areas like defense and depth on the offensive line. The emergence of this rookie class gives them breathing room to make a strategic, long-term choice rather than a desperate move. Ultimately, the draft is the Raiders' chance to redefine their future. Whether they take a franchise quarterback or use the pick to build around their young stars, this is a once-in-a-decade opportunity to set the course for the next era of Raiders football. I'm sure you know the man behind these moves, General Manager Tom Telesco. You know, in the NFL, a strong draft can change the trajectory of a franchise, and Telesco's 2024 draft class might be exactly what the Raiders needed. Yes, I know, it's been a tough season, and you are right to question the current performance, but remember, everything takes time and young talent he brought in, showing some potential, so you can't help but feel a sense of hope for the future. And we are expecting the same thing from him in the next draft. Whether it's drafting a franchise quarterback or trading down to secure additional assets, his ability to make strategic decisions will be key. So, where do we go from here? The Raiders' 2024 season might be a tough pill to swallow, but it's clear that brighter days are ahead. With young stars stepping up and the potential to secure a franchise-changing draft pick, this is the foundation of something much bigger. Now it's your turn. What do you think about the young talent we've discussed? Who are you most excited about? And who do you think the Raiders should target with the first pick in the 2024 draft? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more in-depth Raiders analysis. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay tuned for more updates on Raider Nation. See you in the next one.